Social care is one area where the kind of public information agenda is kind of key. We have a mandate, there's the Care Bill that talks about the responsibility to ensure that people have access to good information and advice. Now, I kind of did a bit of an audit, I'm not going to say an audit, although we're here, a bit of a just look around local authority websites to see how people are approaching the kind of public information agenda, broadly speaking, around social care, and how access to services that provide information and advice on websites are delivered. And I think there's a shift for us to think about how we really focus on user needs, not just assuming that someone turns up on a council's homepage and then starts there and navigates through some kind of glorious organisational structure. But actually it's about putting the user first, and the organisation actually is a kind of irrelevant in that point. If we have a role to play to provide public information, we will do it. And if we have a role to provide a service, we should do it. And if we have a clear role to provide information and advice that help people find services that are in their local community, we should do it. So some of the things that the principles for the provision of information and advice talk about, and I say they're reusable because actually if we can crack social care and get that kind of environment right, actually then that's a model for how our website should operate anyway, is that we should provide an environment where our websites are allowing people to access services, whether they're ours or whether our partners, or services within communities, all those voluntary kind of things, that we should be able to do that. But there's a whole load of things that we need to think about. So we need to be user and evidence-based. We really need to understand not just the need in terms of the information, but what the capacity is within areas in terms of what is the information we're providing. So the user need might be to access some services that reduce social isolation. Now, some of that might be best resolved by just connecting them to some local informal networks that meet in a local village hall or a local cafe and allow them to connect and reduce their social isolation. That's not anything we will directly fund or provide, but it's a mechanism for people to connect with those services. So that's something about being user-driven and evidence-based at all levels. And then the kind of thing about increasing awareness, we need to be clear about targeting, and this is for us where a platform like GovDelivery can really help us. People can sign up and be notified or be informed about stuff which is local, personalised and relevant to their needs at a point in time where they enter a transition into a service. So the key bit for us is to frame public information at the point at which someone really needs it. So they switch into the need for a service. So there's an opportunity there, and there's an opportunity as they come out of that service to think about what our messaging and our communication is in terms of to build capacity or encourage them to support other people in that area.